Right now, somewhere in the world, a 41-year-old man is doing extra sprints after everyone else has gone home. No cameras, no crowd, nobody is making him do this. But the psychological reality behind that empty training pitch is far darker than simple hard work. You call it discipline. You call it talent. You tell yourself he was just born different. But what if the mentality that built Cristiano Ronaldo isn't a gift at all? What if it's a system? A cold, repeatable, almost mechanical override of the human brain's default settings? And what if that same system is sitting inside you right now, unused, because nobody ever showed you how to switch it on? Let's go inside it. Start with the body. Ronaldo has reportedly maintained a body fat percentage low enough to make sports scientists do a double take. Year after year, well past the age, most athletes are forced into retirement. That is not luck. That is not genetics alone. Genetics gives you a ceiling. It does not build the room underneath it. The psychologist Anders Ericsson spent decades studying what actually separates elite performers from everyone else. His research on deliberate practice found something uncomfortable. Talent gets you noticed. It does not make you great. Great is built through thousands of hours of focused, repetitive, deliberately uncomfortable effort aimed specifically at your weaknesses, not your strengths. Think about that for a second. Most people practice what they're already good at. It feels good. It feels productive. It is, according to Ericsson, one of the biggest traps in human self-improvement. Ronaldo's early coaches described a teenager who would stay behind to drill his weaker foot for hours, long after his stronger foot had already impressed everyone watching. He wasn't training his gift. He was hunting his flaw. Why does that matter to you? Because your brain is wired to avoid exactly that kind of discomfort. Evolution built you to conserve energy, not spend it chasing pain on purpose. Every time you choose the easy rep over the hard one, the comfortable task over the corrective one, you are following a survival instinct that used to keep you alive on a savanna and now keeps you mediocre in a gym, an office, a classroom. Now add the second layer, belief. The psychologist Albert Bandura built an entire framework around what he called self-efficacy, not confidence in general. A very specific belief that you, personally, are capable of producing a specific outcome through your own actions. Bandura's studies showed something chilling. People with high self-efficacy don't just perform better, they interpret failure completely differently. A low self-efficacy brain sees a missed shot, a lost game, a public mistake, and reads it as evidence, proof that you were never good enough to begin with. A high self-efficacy brain sees the exact same failure and reads it as information, a correction, a single data point in a much longer pattern that is still being written. Ronaldo has missed penalties in must-win finals in front of hundreds of millions of people, and within days, sometimes hours, he was back on a training pitch, treating that miss like a technical problem to solve, not a verdict on his worth as a human being. Most people cannot do that. Most people carry a missed opportunity for weeks. It replays at 2 a.m. It becomes a story about who they are, instead of what they did. Here's the darker part. That difference is not primarily about willpower. It's about a mental habit that can actually be trained, according to Carol Dweck's research on mindset. Dweck found that people who view ability as fixed, something you either have or don't, collapse after failure because failure threatens their entire identity. People who view ability as something built through effort, what she calls a growth mindset, treat the exact same failure as simply unfinished work. The frightening implication is this: your reaction to failure right now, today, in your job, your relationships, your own goals, is not fixed. It's a pattern you've rehearsed so many times, it feels like personality. It isn't. Now let's talk about obsession, because this is where the mentality stops looking inspiring and starts looking almost frightening. Reports from people who have trained alongside Ronaldo describe a man who tracks his sleep like a scientist, who has reportedly gone to bed at the same time for years, who treats a single missed training session the way most people treat a missed rent payment. That is not balance. That is not what wellness influencers tell you greatness should look like. The researcher Angela Duckworth studied something she named grit, passion and sustained effort toward long-term goals. But buried inside her research is a warning most people skip past. The individuals with the highest grit scores often described their pursuit in language close to obsession, not passion in the soft Instagram sense of the word, something closer to compulsion. Is that healthy? Honestly, the research doesn't fully agree. Some psychologists frame this intensity as harmonious passion, a drive that comes from genuine enjoyment. Others frame elite-level obsession as closer to what's called obsessive passion, where the identity becomes so fused with the goal that stopping feels like dying. The uncomfortable truth is that from the outside, both can look identical. Relentless training, total sacrifice, 0 days off. You are watching a documentary. You see the trophies. You almost never see which version was operating underneath them. Here's your modern mirror. You don't need to become a professional athlete for any of this to apply to you. Every single day, your brain runs the exact same 3 systems that either built or limited Ronaldo's mentality. Deliberate discomfort versus comfortable practice. High self-efficacy versus identity-threatening failure. Growth mindset versus fixed mindset. The difference is, nobody trained you to notice which one is running. Think about the last time you avoided something hard, a conversation, a workout, a skill you're bad at. Your brain didn't fail you in that moment. It did exactly what it evolved to do. Protect energy, avoid risk, preserve identity. The problem is that ancient wiring is now working against goals that require the opposite: sustained, voluntary discomfort, repeated failure treated as data, not verdict. Think about the last time you failed at something in front of other people. Did you treat it like Ronaldo treats a missed penalty? A single technical error to be corrected next time? Or did it become a story? A quiet, private conclusion about who you are and what you're capable of. That story is not the truth. It's a mental habit wearing the disguise of self-knowledge. So here's the uncomfortable question this leaves you with. Not whether you could train like an elite athlete, whether you're willing to let a missed shot just be a missed shot. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is choosing to stay 5 more minutes, correct 1 more flaw, treat 1 more failure as information instead of identity. It was never really about talent. It was always about which system you let run the moment things go wrong.